Welcome back to another explainer. Look, today we're tackling something literally every single human being on Earth deals with, and that's anger. We all feel it, right? It's a completely natural emotion. But as we're going to see by diving into the timeless, ancient wisdom of Ifá, your emotions absolutely have to be guided by wisdom. Because honestly, if you let anger control you, you run this very real risk of destroying what took you years, maybe even decades to build, all in just a few reckless moments.
Now, Ifá doesn't teach us that we should just never feel anger. Anger itself isn't the bad guy here. I want you to think of it kind of like fire. So on one hand, fire cooks our food, it keeps us warm, right? And anger can operate exactly like that. It can reveal an injustice, it can help you set hard boundaries, and it can actually inspire some incredibly positive change. But if you leave it unchecked, an uncontrolled fire will absolutely rip through a home. And uncontrolled anger does the exact same thing. It rips through your relationships, it burns up your opportunities, and it just completely destroys your peace. Which brings us to section 1, Ori versus your emotions. This is basically the ultimate internal battle. So when you feel that fire rising inside you, the crucial question isn't really whether you feel it. The real question is, who's actually in the driver's seat? Is it your Ori? Your inner head, your highest consciousness, your guiding wisdom? Or is it just raw, unfiltered emotion taking the wheel? Ifá teaches us something super important here. A person who can't control their anger is literally handing their power away to the situation, or honestly, giving it right to the very person who provoked them in the first place. And the stakes for giving away that power, they are incredibly high. A single angry word can completely shatter trust forever. A single angry decision can literally change the entire direction of a life. Just pause and think about that for a second. A momentary flash of rage can create these massive, lifelong consequences. Consequences that just a tiny bit of patience could have totally prevented. This is exactly why Ifá places such a huge emphasis on finding and keeping your balance. So, to avoid that whole destructive fire situation, we look to section 2, Understanding Iwa Pele. Okay, so Iwapele roughly translates to balanced character. And let's be super clear about what this means. It does not mean stuffing your feelings down or pretending you never get mad. It actually means deeply understanding your own emotions and actively choosing to respond to them with wisdom. It's really the ultimate flex, the ability to govern yourself. It's knowing exactly when you need to speak up and when you just need to stay completely silent. Knowing when to act, when to wait, when to step in and correct something, and when to just step back and forgive. Modern society totally tricks us into thinking that winning an argument just means yelling louder than the other guy. People think dominance equals victory. But Ifá teaches us something so much deeper. True strength is never, ever about your ability to overpower somebody else. The person who can actually govern themselves, they've already achieved a way bigger victory. Because let's face it, defeating another person doesn't always mean you actually won. In fact, sometimes the absolute greatest victory is just preventing your own Ori from being disturbed. If you yell the loudest and you get that final word in, but you lose your own inner peace and balance in the process, yeah, you didn't win, you lost. Keeping your consciousness, your Ori, completely undisturbed, now that is the ultimate triumph. So, how do we actually stop the fire from burning down the house? Section 3, Step-by-Step Anger Mastery. Let's get into how you can actually control your fire. All right, here is the incredibly practical step-by-step Ifá method that you can use the exact second you feel that anger rising. Step 1, pause. Literally do not react. Before you respond, before you pass judgment, just stop. Step 2, breathe. Give yourself some time before making any sudden rash decisions. Step 3, connect with your OD. Seriously ask yourself, are my words going to bring harmony here, or are they just going to create more conflict? And finally, step 4, wait for wisdom. You have to give your inner wisdom time to actually speak before raw emotion takes over the whole show. Just doing that simple pause changes absolutely everything. You see, your reaction in a difficult moment directly reveals the actual level of your spiritual growth. Let's be real, anybody can be calm when everything's going perfectly, right? But how you handle the fire when it's sparked, that is the true mirror of your consciousness and your spiritual evolution. Now, mastering this is definitely a lifelong journey, which brings us to section 4, your path to enlightenment. If today's explainer has sparked a desire in you to learn more, I highly encourage you to dive deeper into this timeless wisdom. Go ahead and follow Alusigan Daramola at the handle @AlusiganBooks across all your major social media platforms. And by joining the Ifá Enlightenment community and the World Builder community, you get to continually explore the incredible power of Ari, the evolution of human consciousness, and all the rich African philosophy that really lights humanity's path toward true enlightenment. As you explore these teachings, I want you to remember this. Enlightenment isn't some final destination where you just sit perfectly still on a mountain and never feel angry ever again. It's a way of living. It's the daily, active practice of pausing, breathing, and just letting wisdom lead the way.
So I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to carry with you today. The very next time you feel the heat of anger rising up, before you speak, before you furiously type out that message, before you react, just ask yourself, is your next action going to strengthen your destiny, or is it going to damage it? May your Ori guide your notions, may wisdom guide your actions, and may you always live in total harmony with your destiny. Asay.